Time for another book haul. Alright guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Zach with Zacks Books, and today I've got book haul number, I don't know, 3, 4, something like that. I will say this one is going to be more like fantasy-ish, honestly. I think I've got maybe one thriller and one horror, and the rest are sci-fi / fantasy. So, very exciting stuff on this list of books that I got recently. A good chunk of these are from half-price books. There might be, I think, maybe a Barnes & Noble in here somewhere. But a good chunk of this did come from half-price books, and I'm very excited to share them with you. So, we will link these books down below if you're intrigued with any of them. Again, the older ones, you probably won't get the exact same covers, but a lot of them are a little bit newer, so you very well could get the same cover. So, but yes, we'll have those linked down below. Also, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and let's get to showing you some books. Alright, the first 6 books are 2 trilogies that I was able to find within 2 half-price books. I think we had to go to the second one to find part of the other one here. But I'm very excited for these because I hear a really good amount of good things about both of these, but I don't really know anything about them, so I'm going to give them a try, obviously by reading the first one. So let me know in the comments what you think about these trilogies. Obviously I'm going to share them with you. Duh. The first one is the Shadow and Bone trilogy by Leigh Bardugo. So obviously there's 3 of them. There is Shadow and Bone, Siege and Storm, and Run and Rising. So this is the 3rd one, this is the 2nd one, and this is the 1st one. So I was able to find all 3 of these at half-price books. I was very excited to find them because, like I said, Danielle has heard a lot of people talk about this trilogy. I've heard a lot of people talk about this trilogy. It's a YA fantasy series, and as you guys know, I'm trying to get into fantasy, and I feel like maybe starting with like a YA form might help me as opposed to just going right into like the big ones, because I know one of the ones I want to do is The Wheel of Time, and that's like 13, 14 books, so that's a big process. And so as of right now, I'm still on Harry Potter. I do have a couple more I'm trying to get to, but I kind of figured maybe a YA might kind of help me out, and so I figured the Shadow and Bone trilogy might give me a hand with that. Alright, the next trilogy I found is another fantasy one. It's more of an adult one. But whenever I mention, like, I'm going to be reading fantasy, let me know your thoughts down below. This was probably one of the top ones that people really talk about. And again, just like the last one, I don't really know anything about this series. It's just something that you guys talk a lot about. And I was able to find these all at half-price books for a really fair price. And that is the Red Rising trilogy by Pierce Brown. So all of them I found in hardcover. Obviously there's Red Rising, Golden Sun, which is the 2nd one, and Morning Star, which is the last one. So I found all 3 of them, like I said, all at a really nice price at half-price books. And this is a trilogy that you guys all really talk about, and you guys comment it all the time, and you say it's really good. Again, with me still trying to get into fantasy, you know, I'm taking all the recommendations I can, so while I'm still on like the fantasy thing there, if there are other ones that you guys are aware of that are really good, let me know in the comments down below. I have started Harry Potter. I do intend to read Lord of the Rings, Wheel of Time, Dune. I do intend to read all of those. But let me know some other ones you guys know of down below so I can kind of give me a boost so I can get into the fantasy world and kind of branch away from my horror roots. Alright, stepping away from fantasy for a second and getting back on the thriller train, we found a book called Falling by T.J. Newman. We found this was the Barnes & Noble one we found. It was a fairly new release, and I absolutely love this book. I did read this and I gave it 5 stars. This is actually coming up in a recent reads, so if you have not checked that out, I think this is up before this. So if this ends up going after, we'll link it up here. If it ends up coming out before, stay tuned for it because it's going to be a recent reads coming out in the next like week or two. So be ready for that. But I talk about it more then. But I am very excited that I did pick this up, and Danielle recommended it to me because it was a really good book. So there you have The Falling by T.J. Newman. Another book that was found at Half Price Books, which is in very good condition, is this Joe Hill Full Throttle. So this is a UK edition, I know, because it's £18.99 and not listed as dollars. So I'm very excited for this. The cover looks sick as hell, and it's just... This is a book that I want to read soon because of In the Tall Grass. There was something maybe a few months ago where like the short story was released on its own that he wrote with Stephen King, and I was very pissed that I couldn't get my hands on it. And it's an edition I don't have, but it's whatever. But I do have this UK edition of Full Throttle now, and I think it looks really cool. So there's that. So stay tuned for this. I will be hopefully doing this as a reading vlog soon, because I really do want to get to it, and I feel like I need to get a short story from Joe Hill out and like ready, because the last one I did, Strange Weather, really was a flop. So there you have Full Throttle by Joe Hill. All right, these last two are science fiction books that I found, and both of them are pretty big beefers. This first one, I got it because I think it's a big word think here. It's revolved around that movie that John Travolta was in that got really bad reviews, and that's Battlefield Earth by L. Ron Hubbard. So this is a very large book, very thick. I think that movie is based off of this book or part of this book. Let me know in the comments down below if that is accurate, because they have the same name. It's that one with John Travolta who's dressed up very weird. He's got really long hair. It's a really weird movie. A lot of people hate it and consider it like one of the worst movies ever to exist. And a lot of people say that's like really weird because the book was really good, and so I think that's what this is. Let me know in the comments down below. It is a really big, beefy book. And I do intend to read maybe part of it in the future, but obviously with how big it is and with my list of thrillers and Stephen King's growing, don't know when I'll get to it, but there you have Battlefield Earth by L. Ron Hubbard. Alright, back when I was younger, a movie came out called The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and I thought it was a really funny movie, and had no idea it was based off of a book of any sort. And so I found this by Douglas Adams. It is The Ultimate Hitchhiker's Guide. So it's got all the stories of that movie put into the 6 stories in one book. So again, like I said, I didn't know that was based off of any book or anything. I just thought it was a really funny movie that I saw when I was younger. And then I found this, and I'm like, oh, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. That's the movie I watched. And then I found out that it was actually part of this whole entire big thing by Douglas Adams. So I do have an edition of this in the Barnes & Noble exclusive weird leather editions. And so I found this at Half Price Books, and I said, why not? So add this to my sci-fi collection, and maybe I'll give one of the stories a read one of these days. But I'm very excited about this. It looks really cool. And there you have The Ultimate Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams. Alright guys, so this was book haul number 3 or 4 or something like that. There's been a couple of them. But all of these books are very exciting. I'm very intrigued to get to all of them. Obviously, Falling I already read. But I do want to get to the fantasy ones. I want to get to the science fiction ones. I'm very excited to get to all these books. So what are some books you've gotten recently that you are very excited about? Make sure you let me know in the comments down below. Maybe I'll put it on a TBR list if it sounds intriguing to me. Otherwise, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Later.